There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores in this.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Heaux Report. Come on up on this row. I got the link pinned, but I will paste it again. I'm waiting on my hoe to click the link. Once my hoe clicks the link, then we will begin this show. The way we're going to do this is going back to the way we originally did it. We're going to go through our little list of how we're going to show y'all how money, power, and disrespect plays in our little ring around the sector. And then we'll drop the link. One moment. Ho.
Hey there, baby. Did I hear a whole call? Hello, how is it going today?
Good. Hey, welcome. Yes, you sure did. It be Ho 1, Ho 2. What they gonna do? What's going on, Roro?
Boo, I'm doing okay. It's a hot night. I got to say, like, I'm really feeling like really, it's really warm tonight. I guess,
Yeah,
it's getting into that season.
hot in the sector, but you mean temperature? Yeah, it is. It's warm here. It's hot here too. It's like 7 degrees right now here.
Yeah, I like a good old hot night, boo.
You do, Ho.
Yeah, it ain't nothing like it. So, I'm definitely for it because the temperature had been dropping a lot during the nights. But now, you can really get out there and do you some good old hoeing, when you ain't got to worry about putting on a whole lot of clothes. Take them clothes off, okay? And you get on out there and you do what hoes know how to do best, boo. Okay? I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready for it to be a heated summer.
Well, let's go ahead and start. I don't know. I know you've been working a lot and I've been dipping in now, but I pretty much, think I've seen the high points of today. I was watching Pizarro's Live, and a little bit of YTC's, and just a couple things during the week. So what we were discussing this. Remember, I told you how power. I said, you know what? Let's do the money, power, and disrespect instead of money, power, and respect. Um, then we're gonna do money, power, and disrespect. So I wanted to kind of just get we'll go throw some topics out. So let's start at the top. Well, we have a new piece of meat in town now. I know you always pride yourself on knowing about all the new meat in town. So I'm sure you've heard, and maybe you came in contact week, man of the last 2 weeks, I guess, Mr. Audio. Have you been familiarized yourself with him?
Yes, well, I was on a panel with him. I want to say it was at Ness's. I think that was the first time where I came into contact with Audio Pope. And I mean, one thing I can say is he looks familiar. I can definitely say that, but I'm not saying it's somebody that I have ever met before, but he definitely has like a look of somebody. I'm like, oh, I think I may have could have met him before, but I don't know. It seemed like he just kind of drifted along and in. I anything dealing with YouTube, I don't think I've ever seen him anywhere like on YouTube before. Uh, and I see that he kind of came on in with whatever happened with him and Jay Dunn. That's why I had asked him that question that night when I did see him on. Like what kind of possessed him to want to even hit her link in the in the actual like was he here before? And then I think we kind of learned that I don't know if he knew Ness before or what, but isn't that I think that's what it was. Like he kind of had some type of connection to Ness, but I'm not sure. But
He said that
I was
he said he found the sector through Ness. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. He said he found the sector through Ness. Like that was the first channel he saw. But
oh
since
yeah.
talks about him possibly being in the black sector, knowing ZX him, knowing of Cam and things like that, but he would be more 3 sector. So, and then I want to tell you what the girls in the streets are saying. You may find this interesting. The girls in the streets are saying that the theory is that y'all met him in Vegas, you, Ness, Lemon, and Shakim, and that y'all knew that he was eventually going to come to the sector.
Oh Lord, that man have been Vegas. No, that he was he's definitely not somebody that I know I remember in Vegas. Yeah, we may have had quite a bit of drinks, but yeah, I don't remember seeing Audio Pope around there. But I mean, he does. He has a very like familiar face though. But yeah, it doesn't ring a bell in Vegas though. How much money did he win if he was there?
I
Was
don't
he
know,
maybe
but
he was
according
maybe he
to
was at the
audio,
casino the whole
baby,
time?
he got coins. He got stacks on stacks on stacks. Because he stayed. Well, the girl's been clowning him for staying with his mama, but California is expensive. We'll point that out, and that he's 27, he doesn't have any children, but he's able to that savings on that rent, and instead of saving up for a home or moving out, he's able to go and take trips. He let us know he takes trips. He gets on planes. And I think he has a music pastime, kind of like our brother Shakim and people, because I think I've heard higher hair that he may enter the talent show, which we'll be talking about next, and that he seems to do these diss tracks. So he must be music. But my brother Ken said, shout out to Kenola, that he found that he was using AI and it wasn't him doing the rapping and things. So we'll have to table that for later. But yeah, so you're basically saying you don't remember the audio in Vegas, no matter how many drinks you had, right?
Nah, boo. No, I was. I know I had quite a bit of drinks, but yeah, that he didn't. He didn't. His image, no, it didn't pop up. It did not surface.
So I
Now,
know covers the money and power because most people who do come our sector come here because they see that we're generous and we have even competitions where you can win money. And then power, you could say that, some sense of it as far as you can have on here, who's running the girls, who's coming in and getting the popularity and all of that. And then so we've covered his money power angle, but the disrespect part. Do you think there's a correct way to enter a sector, especially let's say the beef sector, then that's where we are.
well, from what I kind of know of it, I've seen, some people they come in and sometimes it is on a level of they getting hit, getting hit hard by, somebody like, hey, like a VS, or I've heard things like that, where somebody come in, maybe playing with one of the big dogs, and then they get kicked down, and that's how they start saying like, "Hey, this person they strike me, or they came for me," and that they kind of start off of that. So in the midst of him like kind of getting that whole thing going with Jay Dunn, that did bring him in on a way that I gotta say, okay, I see he kind of he he followed suit on how this place gets down, on that level. He had a disagreement with Jay Dunn, and he made sure that people knew about it. Like, hey, this the way I feel about her from how I feel, she treated me, and he used that. So I do got to say, and especially during these times where it's hard to kind of get in here because people won't really pay you much attention because they say, oh, you new school beef sector, you don't know how it used to how it is, being in the beef sector. But he pretty much came on in with, hey, I'm going to attack this one right here. And a lot of people don't really care for Jay Dunn, so that's like treasure for him right there to like be on a certain side of folks to say, oh, look, this guy right here, he got the look, and he already he don't really get along with this one, and you see it like he came in and he really gave us a background too on what he things that were relatable. Like I think I heard him say, he really is like Black Power solid and things like that. People want to hear that. And he said, look, I don't get down with Trump. And it was certain things that he said that I was like, oh, he drawing these folks in. He trying to draw them in, and he is going to build this channel today. That's what I feel when it comes to him. He's like, oh, I'm getting this channel built. I'm here, and I'm about to get these people up over here. He's trying to get the people what they want to hear. Okay, he want to get them a taste of what they like to eat. He trying to do it. So I mean, that's what I pretty much saw. The disrespect, though, we've seen it in so many figures. That's the thing. Like when he, it's like it's nothing new because we said it before. Something has to give with all this disrespect, but it's like now, now, okay, he's here, but they've been disrespecting. They've been doing that, so I just feel like, okay, he done joined the club of that. After a while, they always forgive him. That's what I kind of felt about, the certain situation. I know one, couple of people that got kicked out the sector. What's Jay Speaks kind of got kicked out. But they was ready to jump on Jay Speaks when they thought that Jay Speaks was a dude. They was really ready. You see how Fi was slobbering for Jay Speaks. Then they found out that Jay Speaks had, had a little hump action in the chest area. And I don't know, things just started going left for Jay Speaks. But Jay Speaks really had it at first. So when they thought Jay Speaks was a dude, they said, "Ooh, we got another peen over here." Yes, Jay Speaks. I'm telling you, the women, they was combing their hair. They said, "Oh yes, ooh." Like, oh yeah, we got Jay Speaks, and they was loving the voice too. Found out there was a man. Oh hell! I mean, found out there was a woman. Pissed off. Jay Speaks was pissing them off.
Now this is where my role, I gotta defend. I gotta like smile for my role. Y'all be trying to tell my role he might be off, he's slow, all this kind of stuff. Ro is very intelligent. Ro knows what he's doing. He know how to play off things too. What Ro is doing for y'all is giving y'all a little mini list of people who came in with the same type of controversy that audio has. And then the way they came in, some would maybe say that's disrespectful. So he's trying to cover the money, power, and disrespect. And he's already with you, girl. So just shout out to Honest Ro, baby. I couldn't have picked a better hoe. I tell you, I didn't have no require for a hoe. I just said you got to be a hoe. Whatever you think a hoe is, baby, a hoe is. But then a hoe is also, but a hoe, Heaux, is different. We don't be on the corner selling our coochie for chump change, baby. What we do is we get on here and we serve, we snatch, and then we go on about our business. We get to be a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed. That's the Heaux. And so we high class hoes, okay? Now, Brooke, I know where you going, Brooke. Brooke, I already know where you going now. Take your blood pressure. Brooke been on a tangent. Brooke, remember that I'm a supporter of yours, so I already know where you're going. I'm not talking about when the man and the woman gets into an argument and they be like, they want men to kiss their ass and not say nothing and just take it. When my title of the thing is the Heaux Report, and we're gonna do, I called it the Money, Power, and Disrespect Edition. So we're doing like almost like the YouTube news and our little spin on it. So whenever we cover a person, they have to fit in the money, power, and disrespect just for the sake of this. So we're giving you an example of how money, power, and disrespect come into each topic. That's what we mean. But that's a good thing that you pointed out because I am a supporter of yours, so I kind of know where you're going. So when we get ready for everybody to come up, I would love to hear your piece on that. Because
yeah, for sure.
You've been over there dragging, boo. You've been over there dragging, boo, girl. Brookie has ate her Wheaties, took her vitamins, baby, and drinking her recommended amounts of water, whatever. And Brooke, tell your husband I'm still mad at him. He gonna have to come see me. Hold up, because there's always somebody in the chat that wants to kind of do their own thing, and sometimes we indulge this person that's about to come up here, which is how I got acquainted with audio, thanks to this person coming to the stage. Some call her J Dunn, some call her Jake, some call her the woman with the machine, baby. So coming to the stage is J Dunn, Jake, and Machine. What we gonna call her? Jake and the Machine. That's an actual brand called something like that. So coming to the stage,
Rage of the Machine.
Yes, coming under the name of Jake and the Machine, baby. Welcome, Jake.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the grand entrance. Thank you so much. I was waiting on you to come live. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jada, what's up?
Okay, wonderful. Hi. How in the hell are y'all? How in the hell are you?
We just two hoes, chit chatting.
Yeah, in heat.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I was waiting on D Miss Soul to go live. So now that y'all finally live, I got something funny to tell D Miss Soul, but I'm gonna go on mute and put it in the back chat.
Okay. Now, okay, so going from audio, which he kind of gonna fit into other storylines too. Let's talk about it. What made me have the title is Pizarro's live from today, because I was trying to catch up because I didn't know about what was going on. I had to give me a quick little, I asked you for a little help, gave me a little cliff notes. Thank you, Ho. My Ho always get his girl together, baby. So basically, what I get from the live at Pizarro's, and I need to go red bar because I heard I missed an interesting time from this one up here, Jake, as well as Pizarro. So I do want to go back and view that because I didn't come in until it was off about an hour. So what I'm gathering is Lemon's having a competition, talent competition, whatever you want to do, no cooking, whatever. We'll get the specifics later. And he had a very generous donor, which we need to make sure we say that, because I do agree that as a very generous donor, and he should be happy. He should be on cloud now. He should be appreciative, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's called support. Get, if you don't have, hey, we've said that Lemon should bottle what the hell he has and sell it, almost like they used to do that thing where they say, you know what, we need to sell pussy in a can, because if you could sell pussy in a can, boy, do you imagine the business that would be? And I'm like, okay, Lemon needs to sell lemon in the can, baby, because while we may have opinions on how he runs his platform or lack thereof and all of that, honey, Lemon comes out on top, baby, if only to be Lemon when I grow up. So he had a sponsor who decided to say, hey, I want to support Lemon and let him throw his hat in the competition ring again. But you know what? Lemon ain't even got to raise no pot like them common bitches over there, baby. Raising pots is for women. Raising pots is for pussy. I am going to just front load his competition. He can sit back, walk Creed, drink some Taylor Port if he chooses, get some Popeyes or 2 or 3 if he chooses, and just have the competition. The hard part, the work, some would call it, is done. But it's not. Because, you know what, when I heard that part of it, I was like, you know what? Damn, shout out to motherfucking Lemon. This motherfucker said, I don't even want you to have to work to raise a pot. That's too much work for you, baby, the golden child. I want you to be able to just sit there, scratch your balls and pause, okay? So I'm like, okay, ain't nothing wrong with it. Because, some of us got to get pots together and work around here. But they said, now I want to go to different platforms, and we're going to get to how you're asking or not asking in a minute to do that. And I want to get you to like the highest competition ever, basically. My short goal is 2K, but my long goal is 5K. And you know what? I want the people of this sector and the other people that support him and other people that support, I want them to help me. I front loaded the one, so surely if I front loaded the whole pot, then we can get some more. Now, my theory on that was, like I told him, if you want to raise an additional, because first I said, why can't the $1,000 just be it? That's the typical pot. Like, that's a very good pot. That's what's considered like the creme de la creme of pots. So that's pretty much because you've only given like a couple people a chance to win, maybe 1 to 3. So that's plenty for kind of what they do. So that's usually a successful pot, but they want to make it even bigger. So I even told them, and maybe some might disagree or agree, I don't know, that if you want your supporters or whoever to send you cash out, because they can do what they want to their money, and you want to raise a pot, I don't have a problem with that. Now, I feel like just because of money and I feel like waste and what it could go to, I think the $1,000 could be a scholarship for somebody, but that's not my money. But I think that I would say that $1,000 is just, let's call it a pot. But if you want to raise an additional pot, because we all raise our own pot, if somebody gives a large donation, we don't stop the pot. Pazara caps hers, and I'm going to start. And if I do another one, it will be capped as well, just because I just think it's too much to give people for certain things. He has a right to raise a pot. And bottom line, though, they have a right to give him money, whether it's cash ups to him for supporting his channel or towards a pot. If he asks and they give it, ultimately, it's still not our business, and it's still not anything wrong with that. But I say $1,000 maybe should be it. But so if he raises another pot and he's able to get a couple grand more, that would be a regular pot. He had one single donor to give a large one. If he wants to give away $5,000, of course, at the end of the day, it's his choice. We know that. But this is the beef sector. So this is the topic. So, Ro, how do you feel? Do you feel like the single donor should probably just be it? Or do you feel like that there's nothing wrong with collecting a pot? And then I'm going to ask you something else, because the controversy comes in the second part of that.
Well, you know what, Boo? I feel, from what I've seen of it, I will say that the one thing that TSW did, the way where I felt that she moved wrong was when she went over to Shaw Kim's and put her cash app down in the chat to ask for donations towards Lemon's talent show. It because we never seem to have got that question answered from her on if she asked him first in that chat, did she just drop that cash app to get them donations? Because that does look a little suspect on, well, hold on now, girl, did you already contribute your 1,000? Because if she had already contributed her 1,000 towards this donation, yeah, it really wouldn't have been no much that I would need to add to it, because I'm like, okay, maybe this lady really does just want to have this big pot bank, maybe just something that no other challenge has ever did. But when she is asking for money before giving the money that she states that she's going to contribute, without us really knowing, hey, is it really there? Are we surfacing with the big bucks? um it just goes back into the whole BS game that a lot of people play. Like, girl, what you doing? What you doing? You want all this other money? Because if you look at it, if you just add in 1,000, you want how much more extra money? Because they talking about something. They want 1,000 from Lemon, 1,000 from TSW, and then they want what, 3,000 from the B sector. Like, girl, bye. Because it's looking like but you ain't pay your 1,000 yet though. Now, if you gonna do it right, pay your 1,000, and hey, Lemon say he got his 1,000. Um, I mean, TSW, boo. You gotta go ahead and show us the money. Pay, put the money down. Then everybody will shut up. And be like, oh, okay, she does want to add some more money to with this,
But
whatever
honest,
this
Ro,
bank is. Yes,
but Ro, you gotta remember, Lemon said he had like $14,000 up in his cash out because he is the highest paid. So I'm trying to figure out why the B sector need to put in anything and why he only got $1,000 to give.
I'm glad you said that,
I
Jay,
heard.
because what I was going to tell Ro is he actually did a good job. Ro, you actually brought in the disrespect part, because that was going to be my part too. Because the way we covering Lemon's money, power, and respect, power, of course, is his supporter, which is nothing wrong with that. Wants him to be the creme de la creme, the top of the line in competitions, and that's what she wants for him. So that's what we can say about power. Money, we're talking about money. We're talking about finances. We're talking about raise money for the competition. The disrespect part is this. Okay. So what I was going to say for the part B was, okay, he can raise a regular pot because we raise pots too. If one of our donors in the past gave a large donation, we would just keep going. Brianna got it. To be fair, she got a $1,200 single donation from Kimmy Creations. Now it was after the pot closed, so maybe if she would have gave it to in the middle of it, I don't know if Brianna would have capped it or not, or she would have let it get high. That's the situation that Lemon's in. So Lemon, shout out to me being fair, because I got you another talking point. But let's go here. A lot of people are saying the disrespect could probably come in as what the supporter coming on platforms to advertise that and raise the money. But we all go on, a lot of us do go on platforms and announce our thing. Dovi's been announcing her stuff to anybody that will let her on the link for her. They haven't been charging her. Some people do have a charging policy. Sometimes they'll waive it if they're generous, or if they don't know that it's coming, it's just thrown out there like it happened today. Um, but and so what I think some people are saying disrespect is that it's fine if you want to give this type of money, but to come and ask us to help you get this biggest pot ever is not right. But then one can say, because we have back and forth from both of those, that, well, we all raise pots. We can't help it if one person gave 1,000. Lemon just decided in this case not to cap the pot. Right? So that's the argument too. So he still can raise, if people want to send more money on top of that, they can. But the manner in which the lady has been doing it has been some controversy. Shakim reported that the TSW lady just came in his chat and dropped her cash app to go ahead and start raising money for the pot, where I said it might have been better if you would have did Lemons, just for transparency's sake, just for kind of just proper order. But that wasn't the issue. It was that she didn't even ask Shakim. She just willy-nilly. So that's kind of like competition
Miss
aside.
Ro, can I interrupt you?
What is it?
Okay. So this is my problem with it right here. Lemon is not a humble person. We see him not be humble. So even if the beef sector wanted to contribute to help him have the largest pot, it's just going to make him have a bigger head. Why would anybody want to do that? I sure don't. And I would have said this even before me and Lemon fell out because he's not humble. That's the reason why people are striking him and shit, trying to get his channel
Well,
taken
Jaden,
down
that
because
goes
he's
to
not
a part
humble.
being likability and things like that. Because when everybody, just to be, I'm not even, Lemon, I am not trying to fight for you. Oh my God, I'm just being honest and it's coming your way a little bit. What it is that, what I'm saying is that we all, when we raise the pots, people, I guess, do don't. That's a good question. People do probably donate who they like the most, and if they popularity going to get you or more audience going to get you more. That's kind of comes with it. And also, we don't really we don't talk about the character or opinion of the person. I'm sure people give because of that, but we don't really do that with raising money. So the other people who've had competitions, character may have been judged by those who donate. I don't know, but it hasn't been like a point of contention, based on who they are, whether they're great, big headed or not, grateful or not. I just assumed that people gave money and used those as parameters. But some people say they cannot like you and still donate to a pot because they just like the competition. So that's part B too. But
Demon so why is Lil Butt Week talking to me up in your chat? Can you stop talking to me? Because I'm not talking to him.
he's talking to you.
Yes,
She's so mad, living cool
specifically.
and dropped her.
But I'm talking about B sector business. You just got here. You just got here. Don't make me send Demon So a cash out to block you so that I could be on here in peace. Cause I send her a cash app in a heartbeat to block you so that I could be in peace. You
Hey,
predators.
honey love. Okay, but anyway, so basically that was my opinion on this role. You can go ahead and give your take on it. Like, what do you think about her asking everybody else to raise money for the pot, or do you think it's just the same as when we do it? We all advertise and we raise money for a pot.
Well, I mean, this is something that I do want to add too, because I think I saw Brooke said that she had stated that that was a mistake. But see, another thing is how supportive it is TSW, like on the level of, does she know what's going on? Because you got to look at this too. Like TSW, didn't you know that Lemon and Shakim aren't getting along right now? So isn't that like a little what's the word? Uh,
Out of line.
yeah, because you know that they don't consideration. Yeah, consideration for Shakim's channel because they aren't getting along. So you put in this man's, you basically his competition in, saying you want to help support this man's competition on somebody that Shakim is fighting with right now. I mean, really, how does that look? Would you want somebody to do that to you? I mean, I know TSW has been in a lot of controversy with that whole R. Kelly stuff. So I'm quite sure if she had with somebody who she was fighting with over there, the R. Kelly sector, she will understand, more on, oh, you know what, maybe I did slip up. I could at least ask them, like really, really detailed. That's the type that you go up there to his panel. Because, Shakim always has his panel open. She should have went on up there and asked him that, like, directly. Because, you don't know, like, they really are going at it right now. So, that's out of line. So when they say
Well,
that, oh, she made a
because
mistake,
they going
I,
at it,
it,
I think she should do that for any CC. I don't think it matters that they going at it. Don't you think that should be anybody? Like, she shouldn't come in your chat, even though y'all not going at it and just dropping a cash app. Or what do you feel about that?
yeah, I mean, I would understand it more. I would definitely understand it more if it was just like, hey, somebody else's. But dang, really though, PSW, one of the main folks that he be fighting with all the time. Like it just don't look. It looked like it's to start some ish. It just. But I don't think that was her intention from where listening to her last night. Like I do think she wants to have a successful show. Lemon to give a successful show, but that was suspect. Like I can't put down across from that not being anything to eyeball. Like girl, hold on, you went to Shakim's. Like, but she kind of said that. oh well, he was the only one up at night. So okay, you just go to him because of where his numbers were? Like, ooh, Shotgun was popping that night. So let me go ahead over there and get these people up there. I mean, I could see that. That's where she was going with it. Cause she did say that though. She was like, yeah, he was the only one online. Like, no, girl, you saw them numbers. And you said, oh, hold on, we gotta get this money right. But
But
I
see,
mean,
that's
she's
the
very
thing, honest
invested.
Ro. But that was one thing because y'all know that I don't like Billy Goat Raw. But I will say that you can't tell me that you didn't. And TSW is a supporter of mine as well. But she can't say that she didn't know that she was up in his chat because that's what I heard her say. That she didn't realize it was his chat that she dropped it in. And I don't like him at all. But you had to have known that you was up in his chat because 9 times out of 10 he the only person talking or he replaying somebody else's video.
Yeah, and you know what, Jadon? I've definitely tried to mature on the level that everybody over here does not know what's going on. Because there was at one point where I was like, no, you know what's going on, you do. But no, certain adults, we do so many different things in life that we just may not know. Like she may not have known that Shock him and Lemon was fighting. I mean, because I've seen it before where folks just be, like they say, "Oh, I didn't know what was going on. I haven't been here." So I mean, and sometimes people will miss a big chunk of information. So I mean, that's what I can give her too. I do feel like that she wants this, wants it to be successful. But yeah, that though, TSW, that one right. If she had did it somewhere else, I would have been like this one. All this commentary wouldn't be for. Like I would have been like, oh, okay, well she was promoting y'all. We seen that before, but she didn't give the money yet. TSW, that's what we
That's
throwing
why I'm
everything
glad you
at.
just said that again, Ro. I'm glad you just said that again. I was gonna stop you, and I'm glad you just said that again. Earlier, I heard you say that, and something, and you and me had a similar thought, even though it wasn't part of what they was talking about at Pizarro's. Something in my head, due to we'll talk about this later, Simon, Trish, all that stuff. I was like, dang, but I mean, I'm not, I don't know the lady or whatever, but I was thinking if I'm going to give something, I'm going to go ahead and just send it. Cause like, I wonder what, if, has he gotten it? And the way he talked up to date made me think that she hasn't sent it yet. A couple of things he said made me feel like she hadn't sent it yet. And I'm kind of just like, okay, well, if you donate $1,000 to a thing, why can't you just go ahead and give it to him? And then we can have a starting point and then he can keep up and tell people where his tally is. Cause I'm transparent when it comes to that.
Because she don't trust him to drink it up. Let's not act like we not dealing with a drunk and an alcoholic. I wouldn't see him shit before the competition because he just might use it on Taylorport. The hell?
Well, I was just
Oh.
saying more so for transparency sake, so he can tell everybody where's the pot at. Like I keep a running tally on where the pot at, adding her $1,000 so we can give them a total what the pot is up to. Sometimes it even helps people join who on the fence. So I guess he could just say plus her $1,000 and do the numbers. But I always say, I don't cash a check till I have it in my hand and it's done cleared at the bank. You just never, you just don't spend money you don't have, right? And also I don't advertise or count on money I don't have. So that's just that another angle to that. But they got a situation, they have an agreement that's between them. Like I said, it's her money, she can piss on it. But since it came up, we just talking about it as far as the content. And one final question before we move on from this situation, Ro, do you think that if he got $1,000 from a single donor, based on what you've seen going around for the competition here, that should have just been the competition, or do you think it's nothing wrong with trying to raise more?
Well, I mean, at this point, no, I think it's something different. Even though I have seen in a lot of the challenges that the money gets raised quite close to when the competition hits. Like or while the competition is going on, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen a lot
Right.
of where they're like, oh y'all, we up to 200, y'all, we up to 500. So prep for the competition. No, I'm not going to exit it out and say that that's a bad idea because it's not. It's definitely not for them to be doing this so early on. And I can also say that when it comes to, her not giving the money yet, Lemon did say he trusts her. So he did say that though, that he does trust her to to give it. So Lemon, that may be something he may have a relationship with TSW on that, that shows that, hey, his supporters are going to be down for this. So I mean, at this point though, no, I don't see nothing wrong with it, because I see content creators get that pot up doing a lot of the challenges. So doing a little pre-work is kind of, it's kind of smart, because you know what money you're dealing with. So I guess we just gonna have to see how this goes. But yeah, though, girl, I don't know if people was yelling off $5,000, and I'm like, hold on, how much you say y'all getting 1,000 each? You want to be set to give it 3,000? So I don't know. They said up to 5,000 of y'all. That's the biggest pot. So I guess we're gonna have to see what happens after this. I think with people knowing where TSW is coming from and everybody else, they may not be angry with her if she does drop something down in the chat. So I don't know where it's gonna go.
Demon, so can you put read comment back up there?
Yeah.
Read. So nobody is trying to block Lemon's pocket. This lady is trying to come into our pockets to increase the pot. Ain't nobody blocking Lemon's pockets. He can get whatever the lady want to give. But why in the hell does she think that the B sector need to provide an additional $3,000? Which means if I decided to donate, then it would come out of my pocket. Nobody is blocking his pockets. I'm just trying to figure out why the 2,000, the 1,000 from here, and the 1,000 from her, why is that not enough? Why is that not enough?
Let me see. I'm just reading some of y'all comments.
Yeah, and I just want to say
Honey
thank you
love.
so much, Miss Jovi. I did receive that. Yeah, I received the Easter money, dear. It was a great time. Yes, thank you so much, boo.
Honey Love, and then I'm glad to read just a subby and supporter's perspective, because Honey Love is a generous supporter, and I do think sometimes some of these discussions do not scare off, but kind of bother people, and they may also have people not feel comfortable with donating. I mean, I'm not sure how this went public, because I think it probably would have been best to be handled behind the scenes, because she's kind of made a mark for herself as well. People are big, and since then people have I just saw a lot of passion today about the fairness of it, I guess, and I think she kind of felt away a little bit when she was up on the platform or whatever, and people were like, well, no, I'm not asking you for anything, but I think she felt like, what about me, I can kind of see how somebody might have felt that way, but because they brought up a lot of other different little subjects or whatever. I think a lot of people in Lemon Camp feels like there's jealousy and pocket watching and sabotage going on. But Pizarro said her piece, and of course you just heard Jake's opinion on that. That's not where they were coming from.
Yeah, and I mean, because I listened to TSW when she was over there really explaining, what her purpose is of, really trying to raise this money. And she basically said she wants to have a competition where she said she wants seriousness to be brought to the competition, but, she still want people to have fun. But she said she wants to give, because it's a time where it's a trying time where money doesn't come easy.
Right.
So that was where she was trying to head with it.
Okay.
But then we got this stuff
So
today.
you feel like she was more so of coming together as a sector to do the biggest one, or more so just wanting this for Lemon? Or do you think it's a little bit of both? Does she really want him to beat everybody? As far as, because that's came about, have the top competition, have bragging rights, and get him kind of in favor? Or do you think it's just as a beef sector as a whole to have fun and all of that? Or do you think it's a little bit of both?
You know what? So when I was trying to really try to get that surface of the lemonette up in her when I was listening to it the other day, I was like, hold on, is she a lemonette? And I'm gonna tell y'all, listening to her, she has her own way of things. Like I really didn't get that full fledged. I got a huge dose of lemonade. I didn't get that. Out of her. I really saw that it was something that she wants to kind of. I feel team up with him. On even though she said, "Lemon, this is yours. This is definitely yours." So yeah, she does have his back, but I still I didn't feel like that she was doing it, to try to impress nobody, to make Lemon just had this this huge thing to say, oh yeah, well here we go. This is something that Lemon can put in the history books. I don't think that I didn't feel that from her. Yes, I do think that she is in full support of Lemon, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do just feel like she wants to have a just a big show. She wants to have a nice show. Um, I've seen TSW in quite a bit of other people's chats. That's one thing. So I frequent her. I frequent her like to kind of know her as a subby, and she never really gave. Unless I could be missing it, but she never really gave like huge lemon, outburst. um I would have to go back and just look at TSW like that. But yeah, I
One
really
question.
did believe a lot of what she said yesterday. I did.
Well, even this just came to me because my question is this time last year when Brooke was threatening to divorce Malik, but she ain't have to file a fee. TSW said she come from the R. Kelly sector, so why she didn't give Brooke the divorce filing fee? Brooke did that about 4 times last year, and she's still married. Came to the beef sector 4 different times, talking about she about to get a divorce, and she's still married. But why didn't TSW just give her the fee?
Well, you know what? I did want to say something about that earlier. See, TSW, I was listening to what she said, and she said that she was from the R. Kelly sector, but she was on the opposition. Like she said, she wasn't for what R. Kelly did. And we all know Brooke is, for R. Kelly. So they may not have got along,
No,
within
no,
that
no, no,
sector.
no, no. You
Oh.
misunderstood. She said that she
Mm.
was for the victims. Brooke,
Yeah.
what? Wait a second. No, you might be right because she said she was for
Yeah.
the victims. Brooke said R. Kelly didn't do it. Okay, so maybe they were on opposition, but still, y'all came from the same sector. Why the B sector paying you 4 different times? We already paid you for an imaginary baby. Now everybody got to pay you for a divorce that you never did get.
So as far as so yeah, so
Yeah.
we can put a pin in that because really, I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Hopefully they do get all that money. I hope they have more than like three winners. I think they should give like the top five because they need to spread that money out. So 1 second.
Yeah.
Welcome, Shakim.
What's good, First Lady? How you doing today, boo? What's
Hey,
good, Honest Roll?
Shakim, what's up? Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
do
just
you
finished my
have
live. I
anything
sent
to
some
add?
people over here. Yeah,
Oh,
I just
thank
ended my
you.
live. I sent some people over here. I know that y'all are talking about the competition and stuff. I just want
Mm-hmm.
to say the lady TSW is very weird to me because she dropped down in my chat and dropped her cash app in my chat, and I've never even seen her drop down before. So I just thought that shit was very
Yeah,
weird.
we talked about that. Ro was talking about how disrespectful that was. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like
Shakim.
it was very disrespectful, and everybody's like, "Don't say nothing. She's a sweet lady." Well, I'm like, I can't tell, nigga. I cannot tell. So yeah, and then Lemon said I could join the competition. I'm thinking
Did she
about it.
send you a cash app or support the channel after she did that?
Hell no. No, she didn't. Nope. Hell no. So you see what I'm saying? How the people from Lemon's channel be trying to, make me say shit, and then I get involved and I start dragging, and then they get to play victim over there. That part. That part.
And I just want to say this because even before this man got over here, I would agree.
Oh, okay, Jada. Yeah.
Look at that. I appreciate you. As we getting along today, we're gonna be cordial over here at the dollhouse
My
because we're
phone
not
rang.
about to tear up the
My phone rang.
dollhouse and have it looking like a ghetto
No, no,
motherfucking trap
you don't.
house.
You don't even know what I was about to say. My phone rang. Anyway, so what I was saying was, even before this man came up here, I think it was inappropriate for the lady to drop down with his cash app, just like it was inappropriate for Lil Buckwheat to drop down up in my chat for the first time ever, saying the shit he said. So I'm actually agreeing with you, but my phone rang.
You was not gonna let little buckwheat go. You was not gonna let that go. But okay.
I'm not, because it's inappropriate. When you don't know the person, they ain't never supported you a day in their motherfucking life, but they drop down with their own agenda. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So it's just like I may join or I may not. I'm kind of inclined to, but if somebody would sponsor me, I would definitely 100% join. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 with it right now.
Well, today he said that you was welcome because he was just hosting it. Everybody was welcome. I'm like, he mighty generous for some of the things that I'm telling you. Like, hey, let me just, I don't know, a step above because I am curious. Like, if he says that all this stuff you're lying on him about, I mean, on my platform, your ass wouldn't be coming no damn compensation if you was lying, right? Child.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think so.
Score
But that
one
just
for
shows
the
you that
team.
that's fake outrage, right? Another example of fake
Um,
outrage.
hey, RNY, what's up, stranger?
What's good,
Hey,
RNY?
hey. Hey,
RNY,
Shakim.
hey
Hey,
baby.
Jay Dunn. Hey, Ro.
Hey baby.
So here, I'm sorry. Hey, D Michelle. I don't
Hey
even know if I
RNY,
said to you.
hey RNY, and girl, and I did see you over there, which I never watched this man, but I saw you over
Uh-huh.
there trying to tell the truth. But that man just wants to spin the narrative with his huffing and grunting ass. But I appreciate you for trying.
You're welcome. um,
I saw you. I saw you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, Shakim, I,
Yes.
I don't think, I honestly feel like she did not know that she was in your chat because there are instances where I would be, hypothetically speaking, I can go from D Miss O's live, go watch another live, come back, and the chat hasn't caught up to the actual live that I'm watching now. That's happened to me several times. So there is a possibility that she did not know whose chat she was in.
I mean, and that's possible. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I just feel like,
Mhm.
what are the chances? Because she never ever comes to my chat. And I feel like, if she really was like remorseful, she could have hit the link and said, hey, my bad, it was an accident, but she didn't do that. She just kind of left the chat. Well, I blocked her. So,
Damn.
I don't know, but I'm inclined to think, otherwise because I just feel like, damn, bitch, you don't ever drop down over here. And then one time you drop down is your cash app. So, I'm 50-50 with it. It could be though.
But even if it wasn't Shakim, though, my whole thing too, for one thing, what is that? I feel like you should be dropping lemons because why would you do? Because people be like, I'm giving it to you with the trust that you're gonna give it the limit for the competition. You haven't even put your 1,000 up yet. You know what I'm saying? So that could be going towards your
Exactly.
1,000. And
It's like
then
another
so, because
Simon situation.
so then he would have had a bigger problem later down the line with transparency because we all get that with our competitions, even when there's no issue. So if it would have been somebody else's chat, there's no like, what is it for? Was there a spiel with it that says, "Hey, we're raising money for Lemon's competition"? Because like, what is like randomly dropping your cash up, even if it was in my chat? I would take that as disrespect, like, oh, you just gonna drop your cash up, which we all know you don't do in nobody's chat, right? Aside from the competition, it's what she did was the equivalent of a subby just randomly right now putting their cash up in, not asking me is it okay for them to raise money for something, they need something, whatever. Take the Shakim part out of it, but and then you're not even really advertising it because you just putting your cash up. What does that mean? Like, how do we know what you're doing? I
When
don't
is
get
this
it.
competition or this challenge?
That was that even put in there, Shakim?
No,
Next
no, they don't
next
need to
month.
have a date. They
What?
said it
Okay.
was. They said it was next
Yeah.
month, but it's actually to be determined. Because they never did say the date of anything, and that's why I'm like, y'all just put y'all $2,000 in, and then just go from there. But why try to make everybody else put some money in? Um, And then
Wow.
to do all the dropping of the cash app and everything, when y'all ain't even said, I want to see a motherfucking flyer before I donate a fuck
Right.
thing.
Yeah, it don't make any sense because that's nothing. If there was a flyer, then that might bring more context to the people in there. But Shakira, when she put the cash up, did she put a spiel, any kind of comment, or like what it was for, what they was doing? Shakira.
Shakim, you on mute? Shakim. Oh,
Oh, he might have to go do something. But yeah,
yeah,
it
he'll be right back.
about what it was for. That don't make any sense. That don't even make sense. Forget about doing it. It don't even make any sense at that point because you're not even telling people what you're doing it for. And then also, like I said, why yours? That would cause so many issues later down the line.
Yeah, cause see the big thing about it is if you already dropping yours, it's making it seem like that's about to go to my 1,000. But I mean, I know there's a petty way to think about it, but it's kind of like that's what she like. Oh, this going to my 1,000. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, drop it on up in
That's
there.
what I had said
But let's
earlier.
be quiet.
But state of being, you right. Like that's beyond ghetto. That's straight up booster. I'm gonna flip some money type of shit. That's like Izzy over there getting the money from Resto and not paying and charges on the car and keeping the cash, baby. That's some old Izzy type shit, baby. Uh,
That's some old chat rep type shit. Getting the
oh
sponsor for
Lord.
the cooking competition and using her food stamps, using her motherfucking food stamps
Oh,
instead of
don't be
using the
scared.
sponsor
No, she
money.
just cash out. Now that just really don't make no sense. Then you
Oh,
need
it's
to do a
really.
brand management team. You need to get the Lemonettes and everybody together and get a game plan. And like when we start asking for money for a pot, we always have the date. We even know the judges, the date, the time, the place, and it be a flyer. Because and then Pizarro, her personal thing is not to do it to the day of, but I don't mind collecting pot money early because I can just save it and I'm responsible enough to just put it. And I keep on telling people what the running tally is too. That's what I'm saying. With her getting it, it's hard to keep up with a tally, and then you still don't have that 1,000 base guarantee, right? So, and then how do you? I mean, you say you trust her, and I'm not saying the woman would do anything inappropriate if she's willing to donate a cake, one stack. But how do you know how much she's getting? And then is she forwarding it to you? Is she keeping a treasury pot? Like, I'm just saving you trouble down the line because they gonna tear that apart afterwards. One
Yeah, I feel
second.
like you
And
shouldn't discuss.
I'm coming off mute
Mhm.
because
Hey,
Yeah,
Shakira.
I'm back. My
my
bad.
thing
My
is,
phone
and
died.
I'm happy that RNY TV is up here. How in the fuck do the beef sector not trust Lady Nika with the pot? That way, RNY TV got to be the treasurer, but we supposed to be giving the pot to this lady from the R. Kelly sector just because she got a couple of $2 memberships? Make it make sense, cause it don't make sense.
I don't know why finances are being discussed if there's no date set. That should have been the first order of business, creating a date.
But
Exactly.
and another thing is like I want to say that TSW should be kind of aware of the sector. I don't know how much you may know Shakim, but I know that Shakim would have been very welcoming and at least trying to hear what she had to say. If she could have done that right, like because Shakim, like he would have let her click the link and he would have like heard what she had to say, and he could have say he would have definitely say yes or no, whatever he would want to. But the way she did it was he was like, "Oh, this commentary right here, like, girl, this great commentary." Um, so I mean that it was certain things that she could have used. I've seen other people, go on links and say, "Hey, can I promote this on your link if possible?" So she could have did it that way. I'll say this TSW, at least in the future, boo, try to go on somebody's link and ask them. Because yeah, that right there now we heard. So Shakim, we can hear from you. Was it just a straight up personal cash out that was thrown into your chat with no type of substance behind it or anything? It was just her cash app. She just threw the cash app up in there, ain't asked you what nothing.
Yes, like she literally dropped down and said, "Donate to $ whatever her cash app is for the challenge." And I'm like, we're not even talking about that. Like we was talking about some whole other shit with Dory and Tosa. So I was just like, what the fuck? And then I blocked her. So I know she heard me cuss her out a little bit. So I would think she would click the link and say, "Oh, my bad. I didn't know I was over here," or I didn't know where the fuck I was at, or whatever her excuse was gonna be. And she didn't do that. She didn't click my link. So as far as I take it as disrespect forever. Fuck that bitch. That's how I feel.
Yeah, they should have had all of that together, like they said before they had the money, and then also the
So this
criteria and
so
what
this
exactly was
man
going to be.
so this man could say fuck that bitch forever because she dropped the cash out, but I can't say fuck Lil Buck Week forever. Oh, okay.
I mean, once you got beef with me, bitch, we gonna be forever in my Cardi B voice. But I mean,
So
I
we
ain't
doing
gonna brag or
the
nothing,
power.
but
We do RNY. The whole report tonight is about money, power, and disrespect. And each scenario is an example of money, power, and disrespect.
mhm.
Um, okay, of course, we're moving on to Trish Belize. And if you believe there was gonna be a Belize, then they made an ass out of you. But the controversy, we all knew the trip was never gonna happen except for on this road. But the controversy goes into so you remember, y'all, let's give you a quick rundown of what happened. Remember at first when Trish came out here, on this road came out and he had this heart to heart with his chat a little bit more ahead of time and kind of not done correctly and a couple other things we can talk about later. But on this road came out and Trish had some random link to a GoFundMe-esque type of thing, if you want to call it the Temu GoFundMe. They were going to raise the money, so you were going to donate to this link, and the people who was going to get the money was not on this road to pay his own grown passport fee, his own grown expenses, his own grown registration fee, but it was going to go to the the Temu GoFundMe, and then it was going to be deposited to the account of guess who? A foundation with guess who is the founder? Trish. And guess who is the board members? The people from the borough, right? We had a Raheem. We had the whole Wu-Tang crew, okay? Clan. I mean, we had all types of all the refound Muslims, have to go to prison, intervention program, car detailing business niggas, okay? Those were the people on the board. So the chat didn't really feel comfortable doing that, and on this roast chat kind of revolted. I mean, I might have had something to do with that. So his chat kind of revolted, and they said, why can't we just give it the honest row? And then we put his PayPal up there and all of that. And then we said, what are you asking them for though, Ro? Maybe we need to think about this. So Trish, of course, storms on the link to get her little kink and start the process of scamming Honest Row and the Mo 3 and B sector. So NDA came after that. People were saying Honest Row gave his social security number and all types of shit, which he did not. He did sign an NDA though. Jay Wilson did not. He wants to make sure y'all know that. And then all of a sudden Mo 3 and all these people came about, right? They all heard different stuff. Well, the fundraising thing was still an issue. So miraculously, to get Ro to go, to convince him to go, she comes back and say, hey, you have a donor. Matter of fact, everybody has a damn donor. It's turned into a reality show and all types of shit, right? Jay Wilson pulls out. All this stuff happened. So speeding up to just the other day, Trish goes on her live breaking down, crying and upset because Simon, who was our lawyer, UK, single dad, ex-husband of a drug addict who just recently stole from him, but he did not go tell the police, British retired lawyer, as Talon says, not a lawyer. He's actually on the dole, which is, from what I gather, is the UK's version of welfare. Okay, so that's Talon's version. But Simon says he's a retired lawyer. He has so much money, he's rich, and all of that. So I guess he promised Trish to be the donor. Well, they had some kind of tete-a-tete, and they, whatever. So he withdrew any promise of donor. So now Trish says she's $400K in the hole, but the trip is still on. And my thoughts on that real quick before I pass it over to Honest Row was that 400K might ask. It wouldn't be 400K if she was taking 400 people to Belize. No offense to my Caribbean brother and sisters. But I don't think the whole country of Belize is 400K. But Trish says she's 400K in the hole, and that's where we are now. Honest Row, since you were a member of this trip until you, to give to your credit, a couple weeks ago, you pulled out formally and told the whole basically she was smoking something and you didn't know what, but you didn't want to roll it or smoke it. And you were going to graciously bid her adieu on her trip. So you did get out early. But what did you think when you heard about the Simon angle? And can you tell us about the argument that y'all got into last night when you cut him the fuck out?
Okay, I'm glad I had a drink tonight to get that started off. So yeah, the one thing that really did turn me off about it was when Simon was saying these things about like dangling money, trying to dangle money in my face, as well as Trish, like right there, he did this back in, I'll say maybe January, on kind of saying, yeah, if Ro still is messing with Brian, if Ro go and had this, Bro thing with Brian, I'm not going to contribute to to this trip that he's trying to go on with Trish. And right then and there, I'm like, okay, first of all, Simon, really? Like, who's focused on doing anything that you want me to do? Like, that like he was right there. He was trying to give a blueprint. Like, yeah, he can't go chill with Brian or something like that. And I found that to be real weird. We've heard things about this before with dragons. It always leads back to dragons, where he was trying to dangle money in her like in her face. And dragons ain't going for no mess like that. She's like, hold on now. I know sometimes I might be in a situation, but you said you dangling nothing in my face. He tends to do that type of stuff. I think he gets something off of it. So then this right here, for you to blatantly just do this to, like, if y'all were behind the scenes and he was a different person behind the scenes, and then for him to just duck out of this, I'm like, no, that right there, that's just a very low a very low individual to do something like that. I don't know what papers he signed, but I do think that Trish did have some sort of a talk with him where he stated, hey, Trish, I'm an investor. I'm over here. I'm dealing with, a certain amount of money that I'm willing to just go ahead and let you have in order to make the trip surface. Did he have the money? I'm really on the level that no, I don't think that he did. It was sad to see how Trish was the other day, because she did think that apparently Simon had this funding from, I guess, their talks, but from behind the scenes. Yes, I did want Trish to see some type of proof. She said that she may have even went over there with him to the UK in order to have a face-to-face with Simon to just, get a business plan, developed for all of this. One thing that was said, and, I'm going to say this, she said that when it came to Simon being a lawyer, she said that he was in the process of getting something towards a law degree, but she said that he was not a lawyer. She said he was in the early stages. That's what she said. So that came out. I don't think he has the money, but Trish is still. I think she still feels that he does. At this point, I hope the best. I hope that he does. I hope that he does, because I do feel like that she has to feel, crushed. And I think that it was very foul for that email that he sent her. That email was ridiculous. You don't do like it. The email was very limited. It looked just like what he did to Dragons, to what he did to me. That's what it looked like, and it's effed up. If you did promise to get this lady over $200,000,
you said you don't think that he has the money. When y'all have y'all conversations offline and you've had to play therapist on the phone, talking to Simon, did he give you the impression that he doesn't have the money? What makes you think that he doesn't have the money he says that he has when y'all were talking on y'all phone conversations at night? For a length of time.
Well, actually, I never talked like you mean like on YouTube? You mean like on the YouTube?
I thought y'all talked
Oh
offline.
yeah, I've only did like conversations with Simon on email. Yeah, I did. I will say that I have talked to him through email, but that's been it. Other than YouTube, that's the only conversations we've had. Um, and they were very brief. It was never anything that was that I had like a long conversation. But I'm gonna go ahead and say but I did have a conversation on some information that was fed to the streets on his financial stances. I did, and I said, "Hey, is this you? They have your stuff out here." And he said, "Oh yeah, that's nothing new." Oh, okay.
Oh, so
So no
somebody sent
money,
you Simon's docs?
huh?
Somebody sent you Simon's docs?
Yes.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you still got it?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so moving right along. So, but regardless of whether he had the money or not, he pulled out. So he's supposed to not be the sponsor. So Trish says that it's still on. So you are still saying that you're not associated with it, or has she got you to think about getting back on board since she said Belize will continue to live on?
No, I'm no longer going to be a part of it. But I hope that, especially after this, I hope that it is successful. I hope that she is still able to go through it. I want her to know that when it comes, it's a very big doubt for me when it comes to Simon. But I don't know. At this point, I guess she may be looking at other spots, but I do think that she feels that he may just they supposed to be keeping stuff behind the scenes now. That's what she said, even though it was always behind the scenes. And we all saw the email. The email was it was just like I'm leaving you high and dry. That's what the email was, a a-hole email. But I guess you want him to reach for something because it didn't make any sense on why he didn't understand why he was getting cussed out. It didn't add like it, Then it was like, okay, we're going to do it right this time. What wasn't done right the first time? Because what he said, and it don't make no sense. He stated that the reason he didn't appreciate Rex being on Trisha's platform. Rex doesn't have anything to do with the trip at all. And
Rex not even going on the trip?
he's not going. No, he doesn't have any involvement with the trip, but he tried to use that.
Child.
And it did Trish. I know Trish emails. I think like a lot of people up here have gotten a Trish email. Trish
Yeah.
emails. She has never disrespected anyone. Well, I ain't gonna, me. I haven't been disrespected in her emails. It's always straight up what the business is.
Right.
And she said that he came at her with, Trish, I don't like that you got this Rex up there. I don't care for it. So she told him, well, I don't know how Rex has anything to do with our business transactions or anything dealing with the trip. That's all Trish
Right.
said,
So
and
his
I'm
money
quite
come
sure
with
this is it.
controlling her platform. His money come with controlling her platform too.
That yes, I think definitely. He's dangling that, and he wants, and then for him to say that he felt Trish was sideways with the business. She said that as basically secret investor, he was going around to the different cast members chats, or maybe their panels, and he was basically trying to, see who these people are. And that wasn't in their agreement, from what Trish stated.
Well,
She
she
said that
said she Doc Simon. That's how come she know that he got the money he say he do.
But Simon been doxxed. And he was a broke ass motherfucker when he was doxxed before Trish got into this agreement.
But here's
If
my
I'm not
thing.
mistaken,
Uh,
Grish was the first person to put Simon out here because Grish and Simon didn't get along. And you know how Grish have his little channels where, well,
Yeah,
I always call Grish he, but she, where they put the
yeah.
video up there and it be like there for like maybe like 5 or 6 hours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Grish been put Simon out here. I knew everything about Simon easily about 3 years ago. So I'm trying to figure out why Trish fell for the okie doke.
Molly said, I'm glad you said that because Molly asked the panel, do y'all think that Trish believes Simon more so because he has a British accent? And that Molly said that's what he thinks.
she
I
said that
mean,
she had followed his music career. She said that
music career.
she felt that he was smart. And she said that it
what
showed in his
music
website.
career?
I thought he was a lawyer. He a
He
lawyer.
has a he.
I'm gonna Google him right now. Let me Google him to see what comes up.
Listen, it's not
Yeah,
too far
look it up,
fetched that
Shakim.
Trish
It's on a
doxed him.
website.
It's not too far fetched that Trish doxed Simon simply because she was trying to prove a point, and she was trying to show everybody that signed that stupid No Dragon Kids campaign. But when she showed it, it had everybody's real government name on there. So doxing Simon really isn't too far fetched for her.
They said Mo3 gave all their government, they name and all their information. They gonna be on Trisha's ass. And how is Trisha's convincing them? And see, she hadn't even told them when Cam came up and found out real time. She
Mhm.
told us that they was cool with it, but they didn't even know. That's why she jumped down off the platform real quick at Pizarro's because she had not told Mo3. And so now she's saying that it's continuing. I wonder, do they really think that this is she about to get $400,000? It don't even cost that much, but she's about to get them sponsored basically for this trip and for have an actual event.
But Trish, I feel like Trish ran to the Mo3 sector and spun this whole story to them because they will believe it because the beef sector already know her for her works.
But people was telling them, but so they posted have signed NDAs and all that too. And so I'm sure Cameron went and told them. So like she was jumping down from the platform real quick. So it's like if her level of trolling is this high, that's like an illness. Like because I remember when Sassy was saying before she left for Lent that she was pissed off of what she was trying to do to Ro, and she said, "You fuck him over, it's because you don't took your kink to a whole other level, like it's a sickness and blah blah blah." But now you trying to affect people's real lives and get them to take off from work and to give their information. And this shit is weird. And you funding money through that charity. Like, cause I called that shit out right away, Rose. I was singing like a canary by hell no. And then you want them and Ro don't get the money. It goes to your foundation. Then you decide what part of it he get. Then you still want him to pay a registration fee. Are you crazy, bitch? Hell no. Ro is not going on that trip. I told her that then. And where are we at today, baby? I told him to give me my tens and
And
his
Rose
check
said,
yesterday.
and Rose said,
April
yeah,
30th.
boo. Rose said, yeah, boo. Yeah, dear. I believe in Trish, boo. Boo. I don't think Trish gonna do nothing wrong to me, boo. Boo J Dunn, you crazy. Demon So, you crazy. Trish is gonna do
Oh
her
no!
trip,
Remember he
boo.
told us. Oh, he got to tie heartstrings. Remember on that one live, he told us we were being negative. We weren't supporting his New
He
Jersey.
sure did.
Remember when he told us
Boo,
a minute
yeah,
ago?
dear.
Yes.
Yes. He told us we wasn't just to support us. He don't want to hear nothing about Trish, about it ain't happening. He believes in her, and we were being negative, and he didn't want us to say nothing. He wouldn't drop that motherfucking link for nothing in the goddamn world.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why
Well, let
we
me tell you
bring
what
this
I
to your
found on
attention from the
Google. Are y'all
beginning
ready?
because
Yeah,
I
go
remember
ahead.
Trish. I think it was on Honest Rose, and then she went to Lemons. Said she couldn't promote it anymore because the FBI called one of her business partners and was like somebody paid for the trip in full with a stolen credit card, and the identity went back to somebody that was in
This shit
prison
is
in
sick.
Missouri.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes, I do remember that story. I do remember that.
Like
So
that's
when I
just
Googled Simon, all I saw was a podcast that has 0 ratings. And I also saw a website that features his music and his discography. And apparently, the last time he released an album or a project was 2007. All right, and he's just credited as a various artist on that mixtape, and the previous one in 2005. So, like, literally, when I googled the nigga, I could tell he was broke. 'Cause I'm just
What
like,
kind
nigga,
of
where's your
music
music
is
at?
it?
Where's your
And
where
that
your
might be when he
activity
had
at?
his nervous breakdown. That might be when he had his nervous breakdown. That's why he crazy. But what kind of music is it?
Based on what I'm looking at, it's supposed to be like some unique urban music, whatever that means. I mean, that don't mean shit, right? Yeah, it
You
Yeah.
says
said he was a
music.
various artist?
He was on like an album with various artists credited, not his own album, but I
Oh, so
guess
he
like
did a
maybe one track.
compilation album. Got it.
Yeah, it's like a kids bop or like a, you know, I don't even remember the name. They used to do those compilations back in the day.
Oh,
That's why that shit says 2007.
She
oh.
said that he is two houses down from Sade.
He what?
Uh, tell me
He is
why there's
two
a
houses down from Sade the singer.
tell me why there's a Lovers Rock remix with him on it, which he put up himself, of course. But it's like Lovers Rock Sade featuring Mr. Hectic, Simon Hectic remix. Like nigga, please, nigga, please, nigga, please. That wasn't even a good lie.
Mm. He a lawyer, but he ain't know what to do when his phone was stolen. Allegedly. Okay.
That part. And
Oh
nothing
man.
about being an attorney comes up with his name. Like literally, it's only about music from 15 years ago.
Hey, sorry, I'm doing
Oh, that's
good,
another
boo.
red flag. Like
Cool Storm, I
maybe
don't
we should.
know who had that stolen credit card. She came out and told that story, and she was just like, I can no longer promote it. So I'm going to be off YouTube until the FBI finishes their investigation. 72 business hours later, here she comes. So I'm just
Yeah,
like,
this.
who,
Oh
what?
god.
So honest, bro, you're basically saying you've had enough of the bullshit and you're not going anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely am not going anymore. Um, I do. Y'all know I just I do have a love for Trish. At this point, I do want her trip to I hope be successful. I don't know. I don't in the eyes of Simon though. I think Trish took it to the point where it's like she's feeling this trip, and I do think she has the energy for the trip. Like, oh my god, I wanted it to happen so bad, and it just got to the point where when Simon done then threw some candy in her face with the trip, and it's just like, oh my god, it's he's gonna help, but she's not looking to see who this man is. This man has he lies. Trish, that's the sad thing, dear.
But
If
she
we can
lied.
forget anything else,
Mm.
Right.
I think that is a
I
Sam,
respect
don't
let
know.
me tell you something. Now, ain't nobody put no
But what?
disrespect
But
on
Ro,
Rex's name. In order for me to put respect on Rex's name, I would have to put disrespect on it. He just became part of the conversation as opposed to talking about this trip. And what the hell, disrespect? And first of all, Rex got to earn respect like anybody else. All these motherfuckers coming in here gonna have to earn respect. I don't give a fuck if he in 15 motherfucking other sectors. No offense to Rex, but damn, he don't need no damn do boys in here trying to tell me to put respect on somebody's name who I don't even know anything about. So you need to go ahead and put some respect on my chat and don't put no more bullshit in it or you'll be escorted out. Thank you.
well,
and
I
I
was just gonna say, I'm just listening to Ro talking about Trish. How you believe Simon? This man is a liar. But we was telling you this same exact thing when you took your ass to LA by yourself.
Oh,
let's not compare what happened with LA with this. They are not the same.
Yeah, yeah. This is this is different because
so
this
what
is
you
dealing
fussing
with.
out for, bro? Y'all got into it about what? The email and well, how did y'all end up?
Oh yeah, I didn't appreciate at all like how he did Trish. Like that was, I think that was just wrong. How because I saw the way he just threw that there. It looked like he it looked like it was a bunch of BS. And kind of found out that's exactly what it was. He couldn't answer any straight questions. He brought up Duke. Duke has nothing to do with it. Trish said that he was giving props on Duke going. Then all of a sudden, he talked about Duke last night. But I'm like, he never even stated what was going on with Rex. I don't even know if he knows who Rex is. I think he was drunk and he saw Rex on the panel and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and let her know this because I know the due date is coming up for me to give her this money or really get with her." So, let's see, any mighty mode. Let me go ahead and just pick him. Yeah, Trish. I don't like this. He was on the panel. And then she go. He gets that email from her to say, "Well, I don't really care. I understand." And then he sends that crazy email that says, "I don't like the disrespect that you're giving to me." She didn't give you no disrespect in that email. I know she didn't because she was banking on this stuff to happen with you. But you sat there and said that it was disrespect because what did you want to hear from her? What would have made you really go with it? Go with the idea of let me give her this money. No, you didn't have it.
If he didn't
So
give Dragons the money he promised her, what made Trish any different?
yeah.
And I also don't understand why she was dependent on Simon to fund this trip, because I also remember her saying before that she's in the process of opening up some sort of mental health facility or something, and she had business partners and investors that's helping her raise, I want to say it was almost $11 million to do this. So if you can get an investor for that, why do you need Simon for this?
What's the word? It's a word. Like historical. I think she was historical, and because it was certain things that I was like, Trish, hold on, Trish, did you hear when she was like that? Okay, he was an investor, and
She
she
was
said that
his.
he was actually.
She was hysterical. She was hysterical, Ro.
I think yeah, that's what I feel. That like when it's like somebody go through that hysterical pregnancy thinking that a baby is there, but it's
Oh,
nothing
okay. Yeah,
there.
she was
Yeah,
hysterical. Okay. You saying
yeah.
historical? I'm like, what you talk about history for? But I get it now.
Thank you, Jada. So yeah, I mean, she had that, and because he said he was like, I got, you know, no, I'm sorry. She was like that. He said he had it was him and two other investors. And I'm like, hold on there, Trish. You would have, Trish. She gonna be eyeing down who them people is too. Like, you need to let me know. You talking about something you got is you and two other investors coming from your way of things. But I really think she felt that he was just going to give her that money and that she was going to do all the rest. That what she said. She said that he said he was going to give her the money like certain investors do. They give it to you. I don't know what the hell Trish was thinking. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Trish, no. Trish, what is in his background? This is the stuff that I know, Trish. What was in his damn background, Trish, that showed that he was a good person to invest in? She said she got that information. I'm telling. I'm done with. She said she has that information on what makes Simon a good character of of an investor. Well, who are these other two people, Trish? No, you got to think, dear. Who are them other two? Who them other two people? Because guess what? He just decided for them two people too. He just decided for all of them. Who the hell is he to decide for two other investors? Trish, you better come up. That's why I told her, Trish, you better cuss his ears out. But I don't know. I don't know that they told me to hush up. They trying to still get the money out of him. I don't know.
Mhm. Well,
Be safe.
I remember her saying that she wanted, who was it, Mayor Adams and Diddy to co-host this event. But then
What?
I also heard her, yeah, I also heard her asking people for like their personal identifying information. So at this rate, Diddy just may be hosting this YouTube award show from MDC because she gonna mess around and be his cellmate. She keep playing. The
It's supposed
only
to be
the only
another
island
celebrity now
vacation,
or
the
somebody.
only Belizean island vacation that Trish is going to go on, she's going to go to an island kitchen sink and have a Belize green screen behind her. That's as far as she's going to go. This trip ain't happening. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the point. Well, I don't know if I should say that, but maybe they're getting like free press, and maybe that's like the most important thing to Simon and Trish. Because I heard her say last night that they were going to
Talon, this better be you. You got the Shannon Sharp, and then you got your icon. Let me get my banner up. Hold on, because you is crazy. I happen to look down.
Charlene Schwab, you are absolutely right. She couldn't even win that court case, let alone take people out the country.
Shannon Sharp.
they're playing music.
Yeah.
Get your weird ass the fuck up out of here, coon. Weird bitch.
Oh yeah, they
And my
bringing that
thing is with
disrespect to the
Trish,
whole
I just
report.
feel like if she, I don't know, man, because it's like the Mo3 sector being all involved in shit is weird to me too. Because it's like y'all don't even know Trish like that. So why would y'all give all of your personal information over and do all of that shit? And at the same time, I don't even see them going live and talking about it anymore. So I don't even know if they're aware of what's going on.
Well, see, they're really following I want to say like the protocol on not trying to say anything because I think that they do also, they want it to happen. And see, it's different now. It's different from when I was originally like going until up to that. Like because remember at first it was like going to be a vacation. Trish said that Simon was the reason behind it becoming a production, like becoming a production together, putting the YouTube awards with the vacation. He was the one that stated, "Okay, we're going to merge these ideas and put them together, and make it into a work production." Basically, that's where she said that came in, and then she also said this was something that really that pissed me off. Like was when she basically put some type of money into some systems or something, and he sat there and just said he gave her that nonchalant thing like, "Well, back out of it. Like just go ahead and back out of it. I know you can do it." Like that pompous, just the lowest of the low type of people. He gave her that stuff like just go ahead and back out of it. Like okay, like I told you that, but okay, like you can do it. I'm like really like you see that this lady really is trying to fight to have this trip happen, and you just trolling. How dare like trolling? You don't over $400,000. That's a scam. That you done scammed this lady. We can't call it nothing other than that.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I've known Trish and Shakim, I know you like Trish too. Me. And so you don't want that to happen to her.
Right.
Well,
Right.
what more do you
That's why
expect
I
from somebody
question
who
this so
said they were
much.
going to
Go
put
ahead.
$500 towards? No, I'm just saying, how can you trust anybody that had a whole no fashion show, said they were going to donate $500 of their money to their own thing, but then the day of you ain't have it?
Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
But RNY because RNY, but the fashion show did happen.
Yeah,
It
the
did happen.
no fashion did happen, but she said she was putting up $500 for this pot. But the day of the thing, she ain't had the money for it. So if you can't manage $500, how can
How
you
much
manage
money did Tia
400,000?
get? Tia got some money though.
Whatever it was wasn't equal to the amount that she said she was gonna put in.
Okay.
Okay, so the argument you're making is she had a $500, situation with her contest, and that was not even delivered. Is what you're saying. So how could this be delivered then, as a result of
Exactly.
such?
Exactly.
Damn. I like you, Trish. You know what I'm saying? But I am here to take notes. I'm just gathering information and making assessments. Let's go.
Yeah. People who drool when they dance and sit in wicker chairs can't manage $400,000. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Mario, you said drool when
What?
they dance.
Like, yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh
Now,
my
y'all
God,
know
yeah,
Trish,
it's a hat night.
y'all gotta give Trish some grace. You know her memory is affected. We don't want to talk about the tragic incident.
Child.
Well, bro, I want to know if you actually checked your credit report today because I just want to make sure it ain't no light bill up in your name over there with Simon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hopefully they're not prepaid lights either.
They were trying to get
No,
Rose
I don't
information.
think.
They were trying to get a line of credit in Rose crazy ass name to get out his darn information, data, date of birth.
Child, she was asking for
I
folks'
was gonna have
passport
nothing in
numbers
my.
and everything. Talk about some her company is doing background checks on everybody that's going. What?
Oh
Huh?
wow! So in order to do a background check, you need like a social security number, don't you?
I guess that's why she was asking for their passport number.
Well, see, remember the whole thing that had supposedly happened with the credit card,
Yeah,
you
from
know,
somebody in Missouri that's in
information.
prison. Uh-huh.
Yeah, when that had happened, she had said, that they had to go through a thorough background check. That's
Don't
what she
just
was.
speaking like this really happened. You believe her?
He was like, "I'll
You
never
can't
happen."
believe her, bro.
Oh,
After all this work we done put into this, you still
But
believe
bro
her?
believe anything. Bro believe anything. Cause we told him last year.
no, I mean, with Trish, it's just with Trish. I mean, I formed a relationship with her, and I want her to, you know, be successful in what she plans on doing. I do, but I mean,
So bro,
I
I
know
wanna
at this
ask
point.
you a serious question. This is serious. So bro, do you believe in Santa Claus?
No, I learned well, and when I was young, when Santa dropped from
So,
the mall, nah, that it was not a Santa.
so why do you believe in Trish? Why? You
Because I
know
like
better.
Trish. Trish is a real person, J Dunn. But
Santa
I
Claus
mean,
is
I
a
don't
real
know.
person.
He is a character. I mean,
Now,
I'm no longer involved though. I mean, the only thing I'm involved with, just giving her applause if it happens. Definitely, I'll do a standing ovation. Like, yes, Trish.
Now,
So
if it actually
I
happens,
want it
I
to
hope the
happen though. I
Mo
do
three
want it to
sector people
happen.
don't go. If this trip actually happens, I honestly hope nobody from the Mo three sector goes, because Trish said on somebody's live and was like, "This is everybody from the Mo three sector that's coming, and I'm going to place all of those that don't like each other in the same room so they can fight it out." Who would think to say something so insensitive after what we just saw happen to Shaquilla Robinson?
She said that.
Yes.
And see, that's what when she wanted me to go this last time. That's why she was like she wanted me to be one of the secret ones, and she basically wanted me to throw a water balloon to like in like just as an example, like throw a water balloon to kind of wake everything up to get everybody kind of riled up. She did say that. That's something that she was saying. She was like, yeah, I we need like to be a part of how production and like a love and hip hop or something, they throw a little bit of bait out there to kind of get the cast to be rowdy, and certain reality shows to get them to have that controversy or that drama.
she wants you to go around
So
everybody so she wanted you to be the first person to get their ass whooped.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly what that is.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
While
is
Shaman and his brick BK investors laughed at you dumb black Americans. Okay.
So,
That
Ro,
was her dream. Okay.
so,
yeah,
Ro,
yes.
you know, Trish put on quite a show. She really had you going. That was long ago. The curtain finally closing, but she put on quite a show. Very entertaining, but Ro is over now. Trish, go and take a bow. Oh, thank you.
Jada, did Trish ever send you an email?
Hey, why
Yes,
Did she
she
send you one
did.
on
Yes,
Belize? you know,
yes. And I
she
blew
wasn't
the
you to
whistle.
go, Jada, because you know about production.
She,
She
yeah,
was
she sent
definitely going.
mine in October. I got my email in October, and I said, "Ain't no way I'm giving this whole any of my information." I was scared to even click any of the links. I'm like, I ain't about to click none of these PDFs. Bitch, you ain't about to you ain't about to hack my computer. So no, I wasn't going for it at all.
I don't know why,
well,
but a part of me feels like she's trying to get this money so she can pay off this butterfly whatever lawsuit that's happening. That's what I honestly think.
oh, from Raw. Oh, so she got a cash. She got
Hmm.
an actual judgment. She got to pay.
Eventually, I'm assuming she will.
Ooh, whoa.
Why would you want to go into like exactly what those details is, or just like say no? Like you don't.
I don't know. I don't know too much about it. All I know is that Trish was using the name or emblem or something like that from Raw Honest. What's her name? Raw something. Raw be
Well,
privileged, something like that.
yeah.
And it was like the
Yeah,
butterfly
Robbie
progressive
privilege.
something. Yep, it
Mm-hmm.
was a butterfly progressive, and Riot was taking her to court because why you using my business name? Like you trying to steal it. So if monies were
Um.
lost, I'm assuming that there will be a financial judgment put in.
Been doing this for years. It just settled.
Hmm.
Oh, do I need to go get Raw? I
She,
wonder if she
yeah,
up.
she done spoke on it like lots of different times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last time
And
I heard
Trish
her
was
speak
kind of
about it was
denying
on
and
Adrian
lying
Wilson's,
because
I think.
Raw posted the judgment.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Shakim and Raw don't get along because Raw boyfriend had went over by
Yeah.
his house, according to him.
Oh no, we good now.
He pulled up on you.
I wouldn't say he pulled up. I guess you could say he pretended like he did, but somebody pulled up and left, a ring on my porch and shit. But that was
Okay.
last year. I ain't tripping. I be seeing Raw all the time, so if they come up here, I'm good.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
Yeah, I
yeah.
thought I saw
That's
I
y'all
know
make
good.
that
up
it was
about
something that
him.
happened with Raw and Trish behind that butterfly progressive.
Mhm.
Um, but I wasn't sure what happened with the judgment and all of that. I didn't know how that turned out.
yeah, but yeah, and so yeah, Trish was lying, but then Raw posted that she won. So I
Mhm.
don't know. Like I said, they got to go back for actual dollar amount because Trish was using it and confusing people. It could be lots of different things she could probably say. Because yeah, and Trish said that she trademarked it, but of course she didn't.
Mhm.
But I do want to say this to y'all though is in this part. I definitely want to say that I am sorry because when it came to the Simon thing for me, I mean, I would have never ever thought that Simon would have been a route that Trish was going to take. So I know the only reason to take a Simon route is when you are desperate. That's the only reason to ever trust somebody like Simon. So yeah, I definitely gotta say, I'm sorry, I didn't know he was a secret partner until he did his Simon ish. His Simon ish is always gonna happen. So, and that's finding that out. That's why I went the hell off. Yep,
My my
I was
thing though
wrong.
is with Trish and all of her successful businesses and whatnot, why in the hell did she have to trust Simon? Why she couldn't go to JP Morgan and Chase or Chase Bank or one of these banks and get the $400,000? Why you gotta depend on Simon for that?
Mm.
Heck yeah, I would have took a I would have took them that loan out
But
before
he
signing.
should have gave her a down payment or something to start paying for some upfront things. Like, because I mean, if the trip is supposed to be this year, it should have been deposits and real things. So this let you know Trish full of shit, but nothing booked or nothing like that. Because there would be things for something that big that you need that type of budget for. You would have had to put deposits on the facility that you're doing there, block those rooms. Like she would have had to need some kind of money. And usually people give you money in increments. Okay, the first stage of this is all in the contract all written out. It's going to be towards this, that, any kind of fees you have to do. Let me see a proposal from you, Trish. What's the budget? Okay, so we're going to give you $25K for this. Okay, you got to like book down the production company. Okay, we're going to give you 25 down deposit and show me proposal for the next thing. It's like all out because they're going to try to recoup some of their funds in some type of way, which I don't know what y'all were in for. That's probably where the cast and the whole that type of thing started to come into play, basically singing for your supper, which Jay Wilson did not want to do. So I think that there was going to be some kind of show, I guess, aspect of getting y'all and seeing what y'all was going to do. Just throw stuff at y'all. I'm not sure, but they would have had to start paying money. So ain't no way he could, because at what point was he going to give her to start doing stuff? You can't just at the last minute pay for everybody, because at this point, even tickets and all that kind of stuff could have been looked at involved, and people could have their conversations.
But a question that I have for Ro is, Ro, are you worried that Trish gonna sue you for $20,000 now, since you signed everything, but you ain't gonna do it?
No, I didn't sign everything. No, I didn't sign. I didn't sign. I didn't sign this stuff. I had turned it down.
Oh, so you ain't signed and give her your social security number?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't sign the NDA initially?
Yeah, yes, I did. I did sign an NDA, but that wasn't for what this is like for this production. No, it was
you sent out some new
for the vacation. Yeah. It became something totally different when she got with Simon, and they decided that it was going to be the YouTube Streets Awards production and the vacation put together to put these people in these spots and then take them into mental, physical, and spiritual challenges. That's what she wants to have involved with this trip. It's Trish's ideas, and it's supposed to be Simon's money. And she said that's why she was getting all this stuff together. She was like, I got all this stuff, and now she was waiting. That's why, Simon, give me the money.
I bet you they ain't had no
over there ain't got nothing in his pockets.
They ain't had no contract or nothing, I'm sure. That's why he's even more of a fool. If they're not, but bring this all together, if they're not basically trolling together, actually, because that's what it seems like to me, child.
But I think that Ro been doing all these workout videos and got the gym to himself and all this kind of stuff because he was getting ready for the obstacle course. Was you trying to get ready for the obstacle course?
Not at all, Jada. I told Shakim, I told everybody, I wanted a vacation. I wanted to go somewhere on the beach. I told Trish, I'm not doing nothing. I'm dancing, I'm eating, and I may be fuking. Okay, that's what I want to believe for. I want to have fun. That's it. I am not going there to work. I'm not going nowhere to work.
I think you was working on your physique because you knew that Trish was gonna have y'all going through the obstacle course.
She wanted to. Yeah, she wanted to do.
Wait a minute. You was gonna be fooking. You was gonna bring the beach sand to the beach, or was you gonna get it while you was there?
Shoot, you just don't know what's gonna happen. When you in the midst of, hey, dance, you got a little drink in you, and hey, you around all this lovely scenery. Just a blowout, have fun. I mean, it may get to that. That's what I'm saying. Like, just you gotta.
Are you hearing this from?
I'm over here laughing on mute because it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Ro, can I be honest with you about something?
Sure.
Okay. And hear my heart when I say this.
Okay.
It was you, Simon, Lady Sparkle, right? Those
Yeah.
y'all three alone kind of makes me feel like she was trying to plot on those that may not be the brightest crayon in the box. And that was her way of trying to manipulate y'all to do what she wants to do and get what she wants out of y'all. Because why out of everybody, those three, Simon don't even live in the US. So what was Trish trying to do? Pull another Vegas trip where the sponsors out of the country? It doesn't make sense. She was looking for people that may not be speedy. I'll say it that way. Stop
Or
laughing.
people that
I
she
can see.
perceived
I
to
can
be
see
less
where you
threatening.
coming from.
You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? Like that
I
is
mean,
so
because
trifling.
people already feel that Trish has control over me. Because yeah, I do. Take in a lot of what she says. Because I do. I like her. And she is. We know Trish is. Controlling. She just got that. That controlling vibe. That's just who Trish is. So somebody like me, yeah, I would. Be more. Kind of attached to her. But I mean, no, but no. Remember, Brooke and Malik supposed to be coming too, and Demetra.
And that
So it
baby,
ain't just us.
And you're
the little
steady
baby
proving my
going as
point.
well. Brooke,
Oh my god.
Malik, and they little
Oh,
baby.
Oh my God, Jadon.
Brooke said that was not true. It's like
Baby's
she said in
first,
the debate. No.
hold on. Baby's first vacation.
Oh God, Jadon.
Baby's first vacation out of the country.
And
well,
then
did we ever get a
Auntie was
breakdown
going.
on the
Auntie
400
going too.
housing?
No, they were flying commercial cruiser.
Hmm.
No,
Well,
nobody
maybe
know
we
what we were supposed to be flying. No, nobody know. I mean, like first class.
Child,
No,
and I
she
think
said
she
y'all.
said she was buying the whole island, and that was like $400,000. How do you buy out an entire island for a couple of days? You don't. How can you move that much money without some sort of legal paperwork being traced? You don't. Because as a businesswoman, you would have known that. And then I'm assuming you would have been able to write all this stuff off on your taxes. But yeah, instead you want to get paid under the table. I don't trust that. Mm-mm.
But how is she writing off Simon's
Good
money
thing
on
she
her
gonna pull
taxes?
it off.
It ain't
Child.
even her money. So how she gonna write his money off if he could have gave her the
Easy.
money?
Easy. Remember there's a $30,000 receipt from Cash App that was doctored and fake.
I do remember. I do remember that. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess my problem is $400,000 is a lot of money, and that's hard to get even in the continental U.S.
Yep.
Over there where Simon at, they don't even have Cash App. Even if he had Cash App ain't letting you move that type of money around.
Absolutely not. Well, Charlene, she said the FBI called her business partner and said that somebody paid for this trip in full with a stolen credit card.
But then Simon pulled out and she broke down. So was she lying then or lying now? Because if somebody paid for it in full, why is Simon pulling out such a horrible thing?
That's a good question.
Child, it's just a web. But even giving her this much time to even ponder this bullshit is making her panties wet. So this is her kink. Like she likes to create this content, like with the No Dragon Kids. It never happens, but it pushes content for a while, and she gets to come on the links and be the center of attention, and then just usually it's victimless crimes. But now she got people because, like, what if somebody actually believed Trish, like in the other sector or something, they took off work and they done went and bought a passport when they normally wouldn't go, which I believe good. You need to be forced in doing, you should have one anyway. So, like, hey, they got that taken care of, but maybe they didn't really want to go do that and they did it. Hell, a couple $100 is the difference in somebody. That's a whole light bill. So, shit, highest passport, so that's a damn. So, I mean, it's just
But
things
I
that
mean,
could have occurred.
but where's Sassy when you need her? Because I believe Sassy could fund roll this $400,000. However.
I mean, she sent
No,
chat. She sent
She
chat rep
just
on a partially paid for vacation. Let's not get excited, okay? Like, and then
I
I
only want a
believe that
vacation
Stacy
now.
would be able to do it. Stacy would be able to get you there, Ro. Where the hell is
Baby,
Sassy?
I'm not going to Belize. No, no, y'all. I'm telling
I
you, that's one
wouldn't
thing y'all
either.
ain't got to worry about. I'm telling you, my emails have been way smarter this year. Okay, because
Mhm.
they've been very to the point. No, I'm sorry. I have decided that no, I am not going to further attach myself with it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and if you need a promotion, I got you. You know,
well, you don't
I'll
want to
lend a
promote
hand to
fraudulent
that.
things on your channel, baby. You don't want to promote fraudulent things on your channel and get tied up in that. But also, too, Ro, you do know you can go to some other beach and dance and folk or fook, whatever you say, all night long. You ain't got to just go. Or if you want to go to Belize, you can even go there yourself. But I'm just saying, you do know you can go somewhere, get you some drinks or whatever, and fook without Trish and her dry wig, right?
Yeah, I want a
So you need to
vacation.
plan a
That's
rocation.
where. Mhm.
And Ro, the next time that I go back home to Mississippi to visit my family, you could come. We got the beaches over there, and I could hook you up with one of my gay cousins.
What,
I
Jada?
am weak.
Okay.
We
Absolutely
got
not.
beaches.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We
A
got
gay
we
cousin
got
gonna have you
beaches
on
out
gay gun
Mississippi.
community wall, child. Ro gonna be done got drunk and fooked, and then he gonna have his thing. It's gonna be more than just a belt this time poking out, child, over there.
No,
Mm-mm.
my gay
Oh
cousins won't
Lord.
do nothing to him. They won't do nothing to him. They'll be
Cruiser made
nice.
a good point. She said, first of all, to book international, you have to send the funds a particular way, and it has to be a certain amount of time in advance.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like
Hmm.
pre-planning and stuff, and people, and then making sure everybody got a passport, like verification of it, and all types of stuff. Like, child, anyway, we knew it wasn't gonna happen, just like all the
Oh
other
yeah.
stuff wasn't gonna happen. But I just don't like tying up people into it. And now you starting to take your kink further. First, it was just a campaign, it was a piece of paper. Now you starting to like, I mean, this is how you get off. And then you putting these 8 organizations together. You get these little charities and all these little things that you just throwing up. The other one just became about like 2 or 3 months ago. This let y'all know what Trish be over there doing, funding their
Didn't
money, and then
she
she got
just
all that
create a
money.
LLC like back in March?
Yeah, just a couple months ago, and I pointed that out. And she got pissed off when I told Ro. I looked it
Child.
up and I said, "What started right 2 weeks before she told you about this bullshit, girl?" Bye. I was like, "You better try again, honey. You ain't getting the Ro. I ain't no way. I'm gonna stop your ass." And I did not rest until we are here. I was like, "Fuck that. I don't give a fuck. See, I'm in the business all you want to, bitch. I see you a long way, and you was trying to make a profit and pay your bills or whatever. It won't be off a rollback that you upgrade that damn tacky ass wicker chair to a leather one.
Child.
Mm-mm.
Look at Tamia
Yeah,
hating
No,
ass. Bitch, get your hating ass out the way. Ro do want to meet me. I actually had told Ro when I was gonna be in the DMV, which I'm still trying to decide when I'm gonna be because and praise the Lord Saints
oh
over there too. I
Hmm?
forgot about praise the Lord Saints over there in the DMV too.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
like
have to
20,
let you know when
25
I'm
minutes
coming
away
over
from
there.
Row.
yeah,
Oh,
we supposed to
okay.
meet up.
Well, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
wonderful. I
are
do
you
Row
appreciate
and
upset
that
that
with
Lori.
you.
Row and Lori.
are you upset that bro did not able to be successful in their trip
I am because
plans?
I am because I was looking forward to meeting Brian, but I understand stuff happens. I get it.
Hmm. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
thank y'all so much for joining us. We're gonna wrap up because me and Ro only plan to do an hour, but we did two. I appreciate y'all coming up here and doing our panel. I was gonna bring Diamond Dora in it, but hey, child, I'm bored with her and I'm bored with her story. I was gonna give her money, power, disrespect, but basically, stay tuned. Did y'all see Ken's community wall over there? Also, Ken said he was gonna stop by and give us an exclusive, but I don't see him in the chat about he's confessing finally to helping Dora take that on spaceship. He shows some receipts on his community wall.
Oh wow.
He said it on YouTube
That's
cameras this
big,
morning.
y'all.
Oh, he
You
brought it
didn't
up
see
this
on YouTube
morning.
cameras this
Uh uh
morning? Uh-huh.
uh.
Yeah, on YouTube cameras. He was over there talking about it.
Okay,
Weren't
he
they
posted
supposed
the
to be a part of the Fabulous Five or something like that
yeah.
when
What was
all
it?
of that stuff was going
10?
down?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, but yeah, he posted some receipts a little like a couple hours ago on his community blog.
Well, I'm about to drop. Thank you for having me, Demon Soul.
Oh, thank you for
Thanks
coming
for having
on.
me, Demon
Yeah.
Soul, and
I
have a
Thank
need
good
you
you,
to
night.
report to the
Raquel.
Fine,
bunker.
bro. Demon Soul.
Demon
Much
Soul, I
love.
need you to report to the
Yes,
bunker,
y'all. All
please.
right, Shakim, Iron
Huh?
Wife.
What you
I
say,
need you
All
to
right.
Iron?
I need you to report to the bunker.
Oh, okay.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
You
Bye.
too, baby.
Okay. Bye.
All
And
right,
look, I'm
Jada.
gonna leave as well. I'm gonna leave as well. I got some stuff in the works, so we'll just see what happens tomorrow. But thank you for having me. I appreciate
Thank you
y'all.
for
Bye.
coming up and chilling with us, J
No
Dunn.
problem, baby.
Well,
Yes.
Ho, I think we had a nice little whole report. It was a great conversation. I know the replay gonna hit because we get the overall opinions. Everybody did good. I think we had a nice little whole report.
Yes, we did, boo. I'm telling you, this report. I was hot. I was sweating. But that's how the hoes do sometimes. We get out there and we work. We work, boo. I really enjoyed this. Um,
Well, you let
and
everybody know
yeah,
that you a real hoe, baby. Rose said he had planned on going over to Belize and folking or falking or whatever he called it, baby. And he was gonna get his life, baby, literally. Oh Lord, the stories was gonna be from Belize, Lord, Raw. I was, oh Lord, oh my ears ringing thinking about them stories over there,
oh,
child.
boo. I may have overstepped with that one though, y'all. No, it ain't about no food kit. It's just when
Nah,
you in that
bro,
good mood of thing, that good mood.
Pastor gonna get a
I would have
hold of
been having some
this.
fun.
Oh, Pastor gonna get a hold of this, or I might give him a little help get a hold of this. Oh Lord, you know when Pastor get it, he gonna be like on his darn live, he gonna be like, Lord, do Jesus, Ro going to Belize the Fook, Lord Jesus, come roll, come here, Ro. But anyway, but yeah, now Ro, you young, have fun. Enjoy yourself. Hey, you're a single man, but like I said, you can do it stateside, and I think you should still continue your road travels plans and include all the fooking you want to do and fook till you can't fook no more. Shit, just make sure you protect it and respect it, and hey, you know.
Yeah, boo. Yeah, always play it safe. That's first.
Oh, thank you. Expose. You have a good night too. Thank you, Bella Cakes. Look at Tamia. But yeah, I would be just yeah. That was a point because they were bringing up that technically Trish could sue Simon because she might have had some expenses or expectations or commitments or things that she might lose money from booking or whatever. And if Simon did put it in writing or put some kind of even a verbal agreement that she possibly could sue him. Well, it's time for Trish to shine. She claims she a lawyer by day and fundraiser by night. So hey, time for her to actually put her skills to play. She got to go ahead and take Simon. We'll love an actual real court case at the beach at the court to talk about child.
Yeah, and I do. I hope that Trish does the right thing. That's what I do want. Like Trish, do the right thing. If you can, hey, So yeah, I guess that's where I'm at with that.
Well,
That
okay,
situation,
bro.
boo.
You have a good night, and we'll do this again on your channel next time.
Okay, baby. I
All
enjoyed everybody.
right, bye.
Bye, boo.